for the strong, not the weak.
When it's Rob?
Man, what's up? Welcome to Jaw Jacket. My man down here at the end of the bench. Rest of the squad is either delayed, delinquent, or I cannot call what's going on. It's Easter Sunday, and I don't know what that means. But anyway, we got me and my man HRap here. We about to bang it out together and bang these conversations out. So let me introduce my man from the north side and the west side of Chicago, Illinois. Give it up for HRap, Brian Williams.
That's good, bro. What's good, man?
What's going on,
That's
man?
always
I'm
fun.
Robert Leawood Jr. from the south side of Chicago, and we going to bang this out today, so go ahead and plug your networks, Brian.
You already know this on Built for This Network, live and direct. Everything we do, every time you see my face, well, not every time, actually. Tomorrow I'll be on Ben's Network BS3 with the forecast, but this is Built for This Network. Go to Spreaker.com, find Built for This Network, spelled the way it sounds, Built for This Network. Hit the subscribe button, show us some love, and then if you do that, you'll get notifications of everything I do. You'll get notifications. Well, if you're on YouTube, you already subscribed. Hopefully, if not, please go forward and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, tell a friend to tune in to us. The Jaw Jackers on Sunday, number one Chief Rocker on Monday, me and DJ Mad Knox on Tuesdays, Big Illinois potentially on Wednesdays. Thursdays is DJ Mad Knox and Big Illinois. Friday is DJ Mad Knox. Saturday is me and Lisa Dukes. And then 168 hours from this moment here, you will be live with the Jaw Jackers. What's good, bro?
When you say 168 hours.
It's a week. It's 168 hours in every week.
Man, captain of insignificant information that's kind of relevant. You know?
Yeah, hey, man. That's very relevant. It's 160. People gotta know. You work 168 hours.
Well, in lightness, I always call that, when I find a tidbit about some information that nobody else would think about, I call myself the captain of insignificant. That's why I say that.
Yeah.
That's my humility moment.
That's what's up, man.
But check this out, though, man. I checked out one of your videos that you sent in the link about this teacher who got caught talking about racial incidents or whatever. I want to bring that up, but I want to bring it up by starting by saying what I guess what our conversation or discussion gonna be today. We started last week. We started with Nene Fuller. We was talking about the 9 activities of white supremacy. So that's how we started, and we're gonna continue with that theme. 9 activities of white supremacy. Today I want to talk about war. And the reason why I want to talk about war is I want to talk about competition and what that means for us. Once we realize that, our environment, the deck is stacked against a certain group of people, and quite honestly, I'm talking about black people, right? All over the world. Wherever we are, we have a history of being somebody who, when our president shows up, is some opposition for us. There's some ideas about what position we should be in and what position we shouldn't be in. So we want to bring that into a broader conversation of war. So we want to hit this from a few different angles because of the concept of competition. Competition. When we realize we're in a competition, right? How do we look at that? What does that mean that when we know other groups of men around the world can identify that we're in a competition for resources, status, land, and everything else? And we got this history in America of slavery, racism, and everything else. So when is it time for us to say, okay, wow, I realize what it is. We're in a competition. Nobody's going to give us any type of leverage position. Nobody wants to say, okay, so how do we approach that? So I guess that's my question to you and to the listeners, however they want to chime in and give their input on that. But I want to start the conversation off of the 9 activities of white supremacy. And this week we're covering war and what that means for competition.
Well, tell you what, if you like, I can send the link out so if a listener wants to chime in the conversation until the guests get here, we can invite them in if that's what you want to do. You want to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I just sent it in the chat room, listeners. If you want to answer Rob's question directly, or if you don't want to type a million things and you want to answer directly, hit that link I just put in there. I'll keep the link on standby, so in the event that you want to come in, you can. I'm gonna attack that in a couple different ways. I think the largest problem in our community is this. We keep being told, we keep listening to what's being told to us about this kumbaya thing, right? Oh man, it's about everybody. It's about the country. Meanwhile, the rest of the country is saying, this is what we doing. We trying to dominate. So when you're in an instance like that, it goes back to what I was saying yesterday. We keep putting our kids in these schools that are run by other people, by other cultures, by other people. And on that video you saw, they got certain ideas of who we are and how to treat us. And we don't want to just acknowledge, as the words you use, we're in a war. And I don't think it's because see, in a war, it's usually Rob Orr has a disagreement with Brian Williams. They meet, they use all their resources to defeat each other, and then it's over. Everybody in a war with us, and we keep saying kumbaya. See, it ain't like that. We don't have to worry about that. We have to start raising our kids to say, it's a war going on outside. Nobody, like the Mobb Deep song, it's a war going on outside. Nobody's safe. And if they not wearing your colors, they not on your side, definitely. Because the greatest advocates that you see that are not from our community, the greatest quote unquote advocates, when you say, well, we need this, even they go, ho, slow down. Because people will tell you that Bernie Sanders is one of our best allies. They'll tell you that Jane Elliott is one of our best allies. But when both of them were presented with the conversation of reparations, they both shot that down. And if you my ally, you want me to be on even footing. But when you shoot that down, that lets you know it is a war going on outside. Because the minute they say, hey, they stand up, hey, the black community is this, the black community is this, the black community is this. Y'all mistreating the black folks. And then the black folks say, yeah, and they need to run that bread too. Let's not get carried away. That's a problem. But we don't acknowledge that. We choose to hear the good things that they present, and we ignore all the negativity. This dude, Michael Rappaport, he just put Kevin Durant on Front Street. Now, if you know anything about Kevin Durant, you know he's been known as a sensitive dude who reacts emotionally to criticism. If you are his buddy, his friend, his cohort in the midst of this chaos, then when he does something that looks like people, even if it's stereotypical, you go, like with me and you, we buddies, we friends. If people say Rob Orr does this, if we do it in private, Big Illinois, Ivan, Tiki, they shouldn't hear about this. They should never hear about what you did to me in private. But you're an ally. You a buddy. You criticizing me. So what we have to do is, coming out the womb, prepare our people for what's about to hit them in the face. And if we don't, it's our fault. Period. It's our fault. I have been, and I'm gonna let you have the floor after this. I have been notorious, I'll say, because a lot of people disagree, for saying the people who were born in 1969 on forward, 1959, I always say, from 59 up into this to 1979, we dropped the ball in regards to preparing our kids, because our kids grew up in a less tense world. So we was like, oh, it's gonna be bad. It was peaches and cream. But I also say we're simultaneously the only generation that grew up with the ability to see everything, speak on everything, and act on everything. Because the civil rights people, that generation, they was fighting. It was a fight every day. They were still getting lynched. Like the Klan was still bothering them. I mean, think about it. My mother's a couple years older than Emmett Till. A lot of our parents are a little older than Emmett Till. So they grew up 8, 9, 10 years old, see Emmett Till get killed. And then it's like, oh, fuck, that's crazy. And then they move on with their lives. And then they go into the civil rights thing. And then, we come along in the 87, mid 70s at age 10, 80 age 10. And then our kids, we start having kids, and it's smooth sailing for those kids, right? But we're also the first generation to be able to say, you can do that without a doubt. We used to tell our kids, you can do anything you want, but that was just to push them on. But because Berry Gordy was an anomaly, and all these successful people they're an anomaly, but they're something. But we got several Berry Gordys now. We have several people who are CEOs that make the largest bank on earth is Chase. It's run by a brother. So you can point to these people, and you can see these people who excelled in whatever their field is, and our kids can see those people and see that these are possibilities. We are at this point, we're no longer fighters in the war. We're generals, we're colonels, we're majors, and we're supposed to be educating our young people on no. You don't need to fight that fight. We need to focus on this, and so forth and so on. So we have
the nature of competition. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
no, that was it.
Oh, the nature of competition indicates a race, or it says in the race is for resources. That's that. I mean, at the end of the day, in our existence period, I believe, in my opinion, the race is for resources. I don't care where you're from. We're trying to figure out where to get the food from, where to get the water from, where to get the land, and land and possess it. We're trying to figure out where to get where the gold at, where's the oil at. That's all we're doing. We're going around this goal, trying to figure out what the resources are that can propel us to a better comfort of living, or enough resources that can accommodate personally our people. Like, that's what we're doing. Chinese people doing it. Everybody doing it. They got a growing population in their own countries, and they trying to figure out how do we have enough resources to accommodate our people. I actually think that's an instinctive, natural thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to accommodate the resources. I think it's a bad thing when you do it at the expense of somebody else's liberty, or when you enslave them, right? Mm-hmm. So I think my point I'm trying to say is, now here we are as black men. That's the concept of what we're talking about. From me, black men. From black men, we're in a country now that, however we got here, like, we know how we got here through slavery. So I don't want to talk, however we got here. We got here through slavery, right? So we got here through slavery, and what we discovered is that we are positioned to get resources in a way that a lot of other third world countries and a lot of people don't have access to, right? And it came through a scarred history, right? Mm-hmm. It came through a real scarred history, and in that scarred history, or that reality, that scarred history, we are still, as black people, are positioned. Because I remember when I went to Nairobi, Kenya a few years ago. Mm-hmm. One of the people one of the guys from Kenya, he told me, he said, the reason why they are impressed with black Americans is because we refer to ourselves as African Americans, right? Mm-hmm. And we never think about it. We try to find an identity with the way we say it. Like, mm-hmm. I'm an African American. So we are instinctively trying to find an identity in which we connect. We connect to African, right? Mm-hmm. So but they, on the outside looking in, they was looking at it and they was saying that because y'all refer to yourselves as African Americans, that make us pay attention to y'all and emulate some of the things y'all do more than any other pigmented skin in the world. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here in the number one superpower in the world, and y'all calling yourself African American.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that'll make them pay attention. So when I went to Nairobi, one of the things I seen, they had these things called these Mutatu transportation system. Those are those buses. You know those buses that we see that might be taking seniors to the doctor's appointments and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or the University of Chicago bus. You ever seen the University of Chicago bus?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but what they do with those, they call these mutatus over in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they take the outside of the bus, they paint it, they put a theme on it. It might be a theme from Biggie Smalls, it might be a theme of Tupac. So when you get a chance, look it up online. The Mutatu culture, it's the Mutatu, but they use it for transportation, but it's emulated off of the United States of America. It's emulated off of our ways, the Black American ways. These are the themes. They might have Jesus Christ or da 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 all over the bus. It's painted in this beautiful graffiti. It's not graffiti, you know, it's artistry. You know, I don't mean it like graffiti. So my point is, here we are feeling like we, less than in America, and other countries are looking at us as a source of strength. Other Black Americans are looking at us as a source of strength because we have this wealth that's in our life. So when it comes to this war and this competition type thing, they're looking at us as succeeding in the competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not looking at ourselves as succeeding in the competition. We're looking at ourselves as, being unfairly treated. This is injustice. I'm not saying it's not injustice, but I'm just saying in comparison to the way people are looking at us, how do we look at competition? How do we look at war? How do we look at those things? Because that's one of the activities. I just want to make sure I tie it to a point because it's one of the activities of white supremacy,
mm-hmm.
right? So my question is, I think my question is, or my theme of inputting something in the conversation is how, as Black men, because this is the only person I'm talking to right now. Every time you see me on any type of podcast, I'm talking to Black men. How do we look at the competition? How do we position ourselves for the competition? I don't need, of war or competition. Whichever word you choose to use, how do we position ourselves? And I attest that, I'm firm on networking. Like, hey, what's up? It's HRap. Brian Williams, how you doing? Like, let's jump in here and let's network.
Mm-hmm.
Dorian B, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, guess he on mute.
Mm-mm. He's not on mute.
Got that first. Yeah. Dorian B, what's up, man?
Dorian. I'm going to text him.
Right. So anyway.
Because he's not on mute.
Right, anyway. Okay. Maybe he'll log back in. I'm glad he jumped in. But, you there, Dorian?
Yeah, I mean, what's up?
What's up, Doc? How you? Give him a quick shout out since he's late, man. He get the half-hearted, from the Detroit, Dorian. He get the half-hearted.
What's going on? It's good to see everyone. Right now,
what's
good, man? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man.
Doing good, man.
I'm good.
That's what's up.
I want to catch you up real quick, man, for what we're talking about. We're talking about war and competition. So just so you know the theme of what we're talking about today, we're talking about the 9 activities. We keeping the theme of the 9 activities from Mimi Fuller, 9 activities of white supremacy. So we're talking about war and competition right now. So as I guess the question we posed for today was, with the reality of knowing that we're in war and competition as Black men, like, right? What do we do with that? What do we say, because that's natural. We're talking about resources. We're talking about everything else. And I'm not trying to downplay slavery. I'm just asking a question. How do we attack this thing from a competitive standpoint? To say, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna put myself out on a limb. I'm gonna say, I don't blame any other race of men that's fighting over resources to put their knee on somebody or kick them out the way to get the resources.
Well, you gotta respect the system of white supremacy because basically, man, that's what they've done. That's how they operate. The only thing they respect is power. And so you have a system that respects power, so that's what they do. If it was me and I was in the same situation, I probably would keep my foot on the person's neck who I'm trying to subjugate, or I'm trying to keep my standings or whatever, my standings in society. It's a cutthroat situation, but you have to be cutthroat. And our problem is that we weren't cutthroat. We just laid down for them, basically, and let them go ahead and just dominate us. So, and my view is, and it's always power respects power. White supremacy only respects power. So power only respects power, man. So we got to get our power up. We got to level up to compete. Basically, that's just my view. We got to compete. And we have to destroy the system of white supremacy. But their problem is they don't want to. They don't want to compete because they know what time it is. If they ever open up that doorway and let us come in and give it an even playing field, they're done. Because they know they can't compete with us, man. We just anything we step into, we dominate. We're just that type of people. We just dominate, and it's just natural for us to just dominate. You know what I'm saying? So they know what time it is. They know exactly what time it is, and they don't want that. So they're fighting tooth and nail. White supremacy is on the way down. They're fighting tooth and nail to keep that from happening. That's why we got all these killings. That's why we got all this population control with these viruses and everything going on. You know what I'm saying? They want to eliminate the competition as much as they possibly can. That's just my thought.
Right. So, we always have to do a podcast, or we always have these conversations, right? And we be kind of leery to have these conversations in front of the whole world, right? Because to the people that's, the people that we listen to, our platforms, we're trying to be honest, or we're being honest. We're being honest, right? But we know if the wrong people hear this honesty, then it prepares them, for their interpretation of competition. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, Robert Orr said that. Oh yeah, he was just about to get him out. I thought he was one of us. I thought he was cool. It's not the fact that we're not cool. It's just like the manhood kicks in, the protection, the responsibilities of our protection, the responsibility of us getting our resources is the reality. Right. So nobody wants to share the resources, right? So if you push up against the wall, you tell me, go fend for yourself, pull yourself up out your bootstrap in order to get resources. You've already been positioned for the resources for you. Yeah. Where does that leave me?
It leaves me in a position where I have to come out swinging. You know what I'm saying? If all the resources are held by certain people, and I'm at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have a mentality of trying to get to the top, basically. And if that means destroying your system and everything, I'm gonna do that. And I don't care how you think. I don't care what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come down. If it comes down between, it's like this, if it comes down between my family eating and your family eating, and you got all the food and you harboring all the food and all the resources, and you won't let my family get what they need, it ain't about you letting me get it. It's about I'm gonna take it from you. And if it means coming to arms or whatever we got to do, now we can do this thing, you know what I'm saying, a nice way. You know what I'm saying? We work together and everything. But if it don't come to that, and hey, I draw down on you in a minute. If it means that my family got to eat. Because
how much does the concept of diversity and the evolution of diversity, how does that affect the way you just stated it? How does that affect it when you because we all experience the networking with different races that share our views, right? And we get benefits from it, right? So how does that, diffuse, some of the what you call, internal animosity that goes along with the mindset of competition, the mindset of war, when you are diffused in them?
First of all, it's not animosity. I don't hate them. I love myself more than I love them. And diversity to me is a bad word. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in diversity. You know what I'm saying? Diversity leaves us at the bottom and leaves them at the top. That's diverse to them. Anytime they mention diversity, it's about black folks being at the bottom, everybody else, some folks in the middle, and white folks at the top. I don't believe in diversity. I mean, I just stay differently, I guess. I don't believe in that.
That's what we ask. And like, so how do you navigate through society? If you don't believe in diversity, I'm just saying, if you don't believe in diversity, how do you navigate through society when some of the major needs that you need are not accessible through your people?
That's a good question.
But I'm just being honest. I'm not even and it's the hard part, man. The hard part is us having these real honest conversations, and it's easy to like just pick our disposition apart, like, because if we have no access to resources uninterrupted, then our whole concept is picked apart no matter how you feel. I understand where the instincts of us coming as a man are coming from, but I don't even know. I want to go grab a brand new car. I don't even know a black ownership that I could even be in collaboration with and own one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm saying, is it? Go ahead, H.
Go ahead, then.
Oh, well, to respond to what you said, it's a matter of effort. For example, okay, I don't even have to look no further than my phone. I have a app on my phone, Official Black Wall Street. Anytime I need something black, I can look it up and I'll find it. Now, if you want it to fall off the sky, it's just like people talk about hip hop music. Oh, it ain't no more good music out there. But I'm 50 years old, and I don't remember the good music being played on the radio. So I had to go find the good music. Eric B. and Rakim was not played on WGCI. BDP wasn't played on WGCI. You had an occasional Public Enemy song played, but the better Public Enemy songs, the songs that touch your heart, they were not played. So I had to go find them. Me, my man, Big Illinois, and our homeboy Draz, we had to go to Walgreens and read all the magazines. Occasionally buy one, but we stand there, read the magazine, find the dope stuff, and then we'll go buy the dope stuff. So we had to find them. So in order to have those resources, all you have to do is seek them out. Yeah. You might have to drive an extra 15, 20 miles, but shout out to Reverend Dodd II, my pastor's father. He used to tell me about, he's a pastor as well. He used to tell me about, when I first met him, we found out we were from the same neighborhood. He used to tell me about how his hustle was to go door to door and go grocery shopping for the older people. He said the older Jewish woman would give him an extra nickel to go an extra block to the Jewish store. So what we have to do is look at what other cultures are doing, how they go out of their way to shop with each other so that money can stay in that community, create opportunities for us. That's what we have to do in regards, like you mentioned, like a car dealership. All you have to do is go to Official Black Wall Street, look up a black-owned car dealership, go to that car dealership. Before you get there, you mess with either Killer Mike Bank that's coming up, what is it? It's the name, Greenview. You look up Greenview, that's not open yet. It's going to be another 12, 13 days before it open. But One United Bank, a black-owned bank, you go in there and you have them run your credit. I want a car at about $22,000 to $25,000. Am I qualified? You qualified out at a black bank. You go to the black car dealership, you get your car, and you go home. See, now, in regards to convenience, in regards to this fight, war, or competition, yeah, there is no convenience in fights, wars, and competition. You might have to jump over an extra obstacle. But if the goal is to dominate on your level, I mean, it's to, as Dorian said, and Ivan stated, it's never been an even playing field. We want to, that's what I said before. We have to get out of this, in my opinion, we have to get out of this kumbaya mentality. And we have to be this us mentality once we create our foundation and start building our structure and get things moving, then we can kumbaya. It's kind of like your grandmother, my grandmother, your mother, my mother, father, whoever. How you going to go down the street and clean somebody else's house and your house nasty? Our house is consistently being nasty, and then we want to work it out with everybody else. What I feel we need to do is get our thing in order, strengthen our foundation, do what we have to do. Then, if you want to come over and intermingle and blend and use the barter system, I'll help you because I need you. Then we can do that. But as long as we keep saying, well, we got to unify. Okay, hypothetically speaking, let's just say I get granted this magic wand and kumbaya. I hit the kumbaya button and everybody joins in the kumbaya section. And we fix the country. And then what's going to happen is everybody going to go back to their corners. And when they go back to their corners, we're going to be right where we were in 2021. No definite school situation, no definite finance situation, no definite places that we own, and they are going to strengthen what they already, at that point, they would have strengthened what they already have. And then what are they going to say? They complaining again. We was just together. Why they ain't strong as us? Because we wasn't as strong as us when we hit the kumbaya button. And as Dorian said, every time we touch something, we dominate. Every time we touch something, we dominate. We never was at hockey until about 5 years ago. Dorian don't even keep up with sports, but Dorian watched the sports center and seen brothers dominating hockey. How do you, Dorian? We wasn't in tennis. We get in tennis, what happened? Every time we wasn't in academics for a long time. They wouldn't let us in academics for a long time. Here we go. Every time we get our foot in the door, we kick ass and we take names. So they want it to be like this. The reason they don't want to kumbaya, because they know if it ever get this way, it's just like we used to say at football practice. If I'm even, I'm leaving. If me and you running side by side, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to leave you. And that's what people outside of our community knows. And from what I've seen in my 50 years on Earth.
Okay, so if that's the case, I mean, what are we really talking about? We talking about injustice from I'm saying, who are we talking to?
We're talking to the United States federal governments and most of the citizens in the United States of America. That's what we're talking about. Because we're talking to the people who desegregate, Roe versus Wade, when they wanted to desegregate the schools. And what happened when they desegregated the schools? Dorian used to be the top-notch teacher on earth. And you pulled the kids out of Dorian school and you put them in the white schools. Now they're being undereducated. As I stated on my show last night, I'll tell you this report that's from Harvard University and the University of Pittsburgh. It's called Assimilation, the Assimilation Integration. And it shows that when our kids were taken away from Dorian, the educator, our kids immediately start getting worse grades. Our kids immediately start being put in special ed. And then when they move back into Dorian class, all of a sudden they excel. That's not a coincidence. Because when I'm in Dorian class, Dorian is teaching me about W.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Whitney Young, Andrew Young. He's teaching me about how powerful my ancestors are, that is inculcated with the United States history. I'm engaged because I'm empowered because I don't see only other people excelling. So now I'm engaged. I'm involved. It means something to me. And then when I send you over there, all I hear about is George Washington never lied. Abraham Lincoln never lied. George Washington cut down the cherry tree. This white dude did this. This white dude did this. So now I'm in class like, I'm not engaged.
That's like Shahrazad Ali. Remember when she told the story about how she had a young man up under her? They said he had a learning disability. She took him out of the school system and started teaching him herself. And then he was excelling. He was blowing him out the water and everything. Then as soon as she let him go back to the school district, she said they dumbed him down quick. They got him back where he was failing in almost every subject. Because that's what they do, man. They want us to be in a certain position, you know, and they bringing in all these other folks in to secure us in the position that we're in, you know. So what my man saying is straight up true, you know.
Right.
Prior to integration and everything, man, black folks had everything popping. We had everything we needed because we had no choice but to rock for ourselves and educate our own people and everything, and everybody was, and folks were excelling. We was excelling in business, we were excelling in education and everything else. Soon as they brought in integration, which is basically access to, you know,
better
integrating our money and access to that flesh, that white flesh and everything, interaction. You know, as soon as they did that, that was it, man. Everything went downhill, man.
I want to read Ivan, and then I want to read Ray the Kid. In terms of war, we won some battles, but the war is still raging, and we're taking some L's. Also, in terms of competition, the playing field is uneven. Yet we still achieve now, but not arrive. That's what Ivan said. My man Ray the Kev said this. Not only do we have to go the extra mile, we have to drive the extra mile. You have to be willing to pay a little more. Big box stores have discounts because of value. Our businesses don't. That's the convenience. Hey, they seem to be agreeing with me and Dorian. We keep wanting. Yeah, it's easier to go to Walmart because Walmart is within 4 to 6 miles of everybody's house. But if we go to Rob Mart, yeah, the TV might be $50 more. But you know what? If we go to Rob Mart enough, like, again, as I stated on the show Tuesday, just look, what's his name? Drew McCaskill. Shout out to Drew McCaskill. He's a crisis manager. Drew McCaskill says that the company that he works for monitors black expenditures, whether it's internet, whether it's cell phone, whether it's whatever. He said if we stop doing stuff for one day, it'll throw off the entire algorithm. I said, how about, I offered this to my listeners Tuesday. I said, how about on the 7th of every month, the 17th of every month, and on the 27th of every month, we go find a black business to shop at. And we do it every month. Do you understand the type of dent you would kick in their asses? Then, all of a sudden, that business goes from 4 registers to another. He got to get 8 registers. And if he get the 8 registers, he going to need another. Oh, damn, I can't handle just the west side of Chicago. Now I need to go on the south side of Chicago. Now I'm on the south side of Chicago. Now I'm on the southeast side of Chicago. Now I got 3 stores. Guess what 3 stores bring? 3 sets of employees. Now you got 3 sets of store managers. You got 3 sets of store supervisors. You got 3 sets of store crew chiefs. You got 3 sets of registers, 3 sets of stock boys. You helped your community in that way. But for whatever reason, we would rather spend that extra $25 on our in our enemy's backyard and then complain that they're not paying us right, then complain that they're not treating us right. But guess what? Rob Orr is a fair employer. Rob Orr treats all his people like him. He don't hire asshole managers because he tell his employees, if you got a problem with such and such, if you doing your job and you got a problem with Brian Williams, you call me. And then he jumps down Brian Williams' throat, and then Brian got to acquiesce to what Rob created a culture. If you don't believe it works, all you got to do is go to Chick-fil-A. You will never be mistreated at Chick-fil-A. They almost kiss your ass at Chick-fil-A because the dude who opened Chick-fil-A, he said, y'all are going to treat people right. They be bending over. When you go to Chick-fil-A, it's like going to a commercial. And I respect that. Now, his ideals and the way he sees the world, I don't agree with. But the way his employees act, it's like the commercial. Hey, what you want to eat? What's your name? Brian. Okay, Brian. And then when they hand you your food, okay, Brian, have a good day. They smile. And one day I say, hey, man, do they train y'all for this? He's like, yeah, you got to go through training. So guess what? When Rob opens his grocery store, hey, y'all going to act like Chick-fil-A. Because I need people traveling from the south side, southwest side, and it over the talk.
Commercial. You ain't getting no commercial, HRap.
Hey.
You ain't trying to be the voice of the commercial.
No, I ain't trying to be the voice of nothing. I'm keeping it funky. That's what we have to do because and another thing we have to do is stop this nonsense of I go to Dorian's restaurant. Maybe the lady at the register is having a bad day. I ain't never going to Dorian's no more. They don't know how to treat you in black establishments. But you go down to McDonald's, they fuck up your order and treat you like shit, and you go back the next day.
I know, man, because I'm gonna tell you, man. Look, I'm gonna throw some the black women under the bus, man. Up and down Stony Island, man. Oh my God, it's the worst customer service I've ever experienced, man. I just won't give up on them, man. It's the worst customer service, man. I feel like I'm dealing with everybody else's issues and stuff. My chicken sandwich I want from Popeyes, man. All I want is the chicken sandwich. It's like, my point is like you do have to get that second chance. You got to get that second chance because we give so many people our money without even questioning their motive. And what's funny is my wife is in a beauty supply business, right? And when she, it's like she get flooded with these different type of questions and commentary, all type of stuff, that says everything else except I am loyally committed to you, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't put that demand on anybody else. I mean, we don't put that demand on other. We ain't never seen nobody up in one of those gas stations with the clothes and the Airwavies with clothes at the store. We don't put no demand on their customer service. We don't put no demand on nobody customer service, man, except us.
No, because even with the Chinese, you go to their restaurant, go to their store, they're selling products that your wife sells. What they say? Buy now.
And get out.
Or leave. They don't say. And black folks keep going back to them. They don't question them. They don't give all them questions that they get to your wife and everything because they know off the rip, them Asians ain't playing with it. And if you steal something, you know what's going to happen to you. And if you don't pay for your fingernails or whatever, you know what's going to happen to you. You're going to get hit in the head. But big people keep going back to them. But when you see black ministers like your wives and everything, man, they come in there acting like they entitled. They want to know everything. They want to question you. Like they the FBI or somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Why do you think that is?
That's a slave mind. Slaves do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what slaves do, man. Slaves will tear their own down. You know what I'm saying? The ice always seems colder over there. You know. My grandmother, man, she owned a store and she owned a burger joint back in the day. Man, she used to go back and forth with black folks all the time, man. They wanted deals. Hey, man, give me the hookup. The hookup is that I got this business and I'm supplying. I'm helping the black community. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. My tax money is going to your company and your neighborhood and whatnot. What's this hookup stuff? When you go to the Asians, you don't ask no hookup. You pay exactly what they're asking for. You don't even question. But when they come to black folks, it's all about this. Oh man, you can hook me up. Oh, you can't hook me up. Oh, y'all playing. I don't want to come back to here. Well, don't come back. That's my mentality. That was my grandmother's mentality. Don't come back. Mm-hmm. And that's the mentality that we have to get rid of, man. Buy black. If I could buy black, then I go out my way. I mean, if I could find a black business, man, and I'll let them know. There's a black ice cream place here in Pontiac. Professional, everything. I go out my way. Man, I don't buy no ice cream from other places. I go there. And almost every week. I shouldn't because I'm getting back, but I go to them, man, because I want to see them prosper. And I tell them, man, I'm so happy, man. Y'all got this popping and everything. Y'all professional and everything, man. I love it. My wife, when she had to see an orthodontist. She was getting some braces and everything. Black orthodontist office, man. Black doc. Professional. You walk up in there, man, them women are pressed. They got their uniforms on, hair done, everything. They looking good. You know what I'm saying? And they was just, hi, how you doing? Like that commercial. You know what I'm saying? Hi, how you doing? Everything. My man prospers. Because black people really, they want to see excellence when they go into certain restaurants, stores, and businesses, and they want to see excellence. And my man knew about it. He took care of his people too. He would take when he go on vacation, he take his people with him. All his nurses and everybody that be with him, his crew, he take them with him. They families, his husband, take them with him. Because he's making money. He understands that he's making money off them, but he's making money off of them, really. You know what I'm saying? They're his support. So he's going to take care of his support. You know, but yeah.
I want to make sure I'm clear. I just want to make sure I clear something up because I brought up, Stony Island, my experiences through Stony Island and the black women. I just want to make sure I don't leave that lingering in the wrong way. What you say?
Tell the truth about him.
Well, I'm telling the truth, but I don't want to linger it like I don't support him. Like I don't want to have to linger it and I don't want every conversation to turn into like turn into true blast, like a tell the truth blast about our own frustration. You know, it's like sometimes those can be frustrating. I don't want to do that. That ain't what I'm trying to do. That ain't what the point of the conversation is. The point of the conversation is, and we'll keep to the thing, war and competition. Because that's what we're talking about, war and competition, right? And so we're talking about war and the things that lead to war, which is land ownership, expansion of ideas. That's what leads to war. I am here, and I'm trying to expand my idea of influence, and I want to possess more land to do it, because more land means more resources. This is the foundational root of war, period. That's what creates war. Land. Without land possession, there's no war.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if I ain't trying to expand my ideas and my philosophies, we ain't going to war.
Yeah. Battles. You look at battles. Most of the battles throughout history was based upon war, based upon land, resources.
Most of them.
All was based upon land, resources, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's cutthroat. So, and that's even no matter what, in business or whatever, man, and whatever we do, we have to have a black first cutthroat mentality.
Somebody told me the other day that they were saying, I was talking to somebody, a friend of mine, and they were saying that, we are not like that when it comes to competition, like the way other races may be when it comes to competition. We're not like that by nature. I'm talking about black people are not like that by nature. And I sort of disagree with that. I believe we are. You know, and then a question posed, and I think I'm going to pose this to y'all. In competition, what changes the nature of how we approach competition? What changes the need to have to win in a way where we initially started competition probably as love interest, something we just love to do, right? I just love shooting basketball. I just love watching the ball go through the hoop, right? But then something changes, something changed in that love. Like we loved it at first, shooting jumpers, and then next thing you know, you look, I passed the ball to Dorian, and he missed 3 jumpers in a row. Now I'm looking at him like, come on, man, right? What changes it? I'm curious to know y'all point of view on what changes from the love of doing a thing that we may be instinctively good at to this competition that is willing to eliminate and sever ties of camaraderie and loyalty toward our own people.
You want to take that first, Dorian, or you want me to go?
You go ahead.
Okay, first of all, like you mentioned, I'm going to go back to what you mentioned even before Dorian came on. You mentioned something about the Kenyans. You visited Kenya, and they were saying things that they respected the fact that we call ourselves African American. I know this guy through Twitter. He's from America, and he lives in South Africa. And he says some of his South African friends kind of get on him and us sometimes because we not over there helping them because they figure they are in the position we were in the 60s, so we should be over there helping. He says they joking, but they were actually serious. In regards to, and that brings me forward to this, like y'all were mentioning, war. That's the next section, war. Y'all said it's about property and land, right? And what's the difference in us and them? My direct difference in us and them will be this. It's part of the African tradition over the entire continent, as me and TC was talking about offline last week. Love thy enemy. Loving thy enemy is this. Part of it, like Shaka Zulu did it, the Ashantis do it. When we're at war, when it is established that I will win, it's part of the African tradition to present you with a way to escape. So you can still survive. You lost the war. You are under me now, but you will still be able to live as Rob Orr. You will be able to live as Dorian B. I don't have to destroy you because it's a war. Now, to answer finally your question, the European way is to destroy, annihilate, salt your land, rape your women, destroy you, destroy everything about you. So that's why we innately have it in us. We are genetically predisposed to not annihilate. We will win a war and go, it's over. White folks win wars and destroy things. Ask the people that they call Native Americans. You can look throughout history, throughout the wars that happened in Europe. They tried to destroy those people. Russia did it with what they call Eastern Bloc countries. They got rid of everything. So that's why we are genetically predisposed to not destroy, to not look. It could be a fist fight. All three of us have lived this experience. Rob Orr, Dorian, and Brian. We all get into fights at noon. By 2 o'clock, it's, hey Rob, I know we had a fight, but I need you to play on this game. I need you to play on this team with me. Dorian, come on with me. We had a fight yesterday, but I need you to play on this team with me. And by the end of the day, we cool again. Because we understand that was a fight. That was a war about what I cracked too many jokes on Rob. He ain't like it. I made a mistake and elbowed Dorian in the stomach. He ain't like it. I beat up both of y'all, but y'all willing to still be my homie because we got the aggression out of the way in the war. It ain't personal. Other cultures want to destroy you. And if anybody doubting what I'm saying, there's documentation of people that look like this, like y'all, all over the world, and nothing was destroyed. It's other people that went around the world and destroyed and conquered and killed.
Dr. John Henry Clark said that back in Africa, before the Europeans came there, that black people had a mentality of hospitality to strangers. You know what I'm saying? We were hospitable to strangers, you know what I'm saying? And when our wars were different, our wars weren't like they are now, you know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, our wars weren't like that. You know what I'm saying? We would go into battle, and then our slaves, when we took slaves, they were like a part of the family. We treated them like a part of the family. But other societies have a mentality of scorched earth. When they go into a place, man, they robbing, raping, pillaging, everything they got to do, and if they got to leave, they're gonna scorch the earth where you can't do anything with the land, anything like that. It's a mentality that they have that we don't have, you know. But we need to get there to a certain degree. But we have a mentality of I'll cut your throat if I have to, you know. And it's sad, but we have to. That's the mentality that we have to have in order to defeat this system that we're in and that we're faced with right now. We can't have a mentality of we're all together, because we're not all together. Everybody is fighting, is scratching and clawing for what they can get. You know, we are the only ones talking this unity, diversity. Let's come together. You know what I'm saying? We're the only ones saying that. When you look in the media, if they're saying it from a mentality of how can I take advantage of it. They're not saying it from the mentality of let's all come together, let's build and everything, let's set aside our differences and all that. No, they don't have that mentality like that. White man has never had that mentality like that. He killed his own. You know what I'm saying? He don't play. He'll kill his own to get what he wants. That's what all the wars were back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Europe was devastated almost because they're fighting for what they can get. So black people got to change their mentality of how we think. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I hate you. It's just that I got to get what I got to get. and we'll figure the rest out afterwards. But I'm not gonna sit here and be at the bottom for too much longer.
Just in case, if you're just joining or if you're listening, first of all, we appreciate you listening. This is the collaboration, Jaw Jack, and at the end of the bench with our man from Detroit, Dorian B. And so, hey Brian, real quick, tell everybody how to listen to the show on your YouTube channel.
All right, so if you're listening on Spreaker.com on the Built for This Network, me, number one Chief Rocket Jason Vern on. I need you to just go to Spreaker.com, go to Built for This Network. Built, one word, for one word, this one word, network, one word. Subscribe. You're going to get everybody on the network, from Chief Rocker to Lisa Duke. And that includes me, Knox, Joe, the new girl, Alexis. Rocker got a new DJ coming on. We got something for everybody. And then if you're watching me, you know the name of my show, The End of the Bench. THA space, OF space, DA space, the end of the bench. The end of the bench. Subscribe, hit the like button, share, tell a friend, tune in.
So in case you just joining us, we're talking about war and competition. War and competition, and what does it mean? So make sure that you put your ideas, your thoughts, and your suggestions in the chat box. We call it the overlay. Just put it on in there so we can read them off. And if you feel frosty today and you want to jump on the podcast, come on, jump on with us today. I want to read real quick Benita Winfield. She made a comment. She said, no. I demand good customer service everywhere I go, regardless of race of the business owner. We got to stop supporting places with poor customer service. I tried to say it like she probably meant it. Who is this? Big Illinois. I gave this jerk spot 2 chances to ignore, too ignorant for me. She said he gave the jerk spot 2 chances.
That's a dude.
That must have been,
that's a dude.
Illinois.
Yeah, that's a dude.
Benita also said, I support black-owned nail salon called The Polished Work. They have great customer service, including a loyalty program point system. So that's just like anything else. You won't have good and bad customer service. I think overall thing when what you're saying is interesting to me, Dorian, because you're talking about diversity and how it damages. Both of y'all are actually saying that how it damages diversity. But that's again to my question: how do we move forward in an evolution, right? Without some forms of diversity. I mean, I'm asking that question not as a gotcha moment, because I'm trying to figure it out, like for real. Because I identify with the biggest issue being the racial root of America's history is the way the white man looks at the black man. And everything else is falling from it. And at this stage in the game, we're at a whole different spot when it comes to this racial issue, because you have the Asians, Arabs, Indians, they don't give a damn about your history of slavery. They are looking at possession of land. They don't give a damn. They don't care. I don't want to misquote this. You're in Michigan, Dorian, so maybe you can answer this better than I can. Dearborn, Michigan. When I say Dearborn, Michigan, I'm curious to know what is the population? What is Dearborn, Michigan? When you hear that word, you from Michigan, you got that old blue and yellow garbage going on. What is the instinct of Dearborn, Michigan?
Arab.
Really?
Arab. Dearborn is owned by Arab and a few white folks. A little bit of sprinkling of black, but more so Arab. That's theirs.
And what does that mean?
The thing is, with Reese, bottom line is black folks we don't have what we need. So of course you're gonna have to go out into and get resources and everything from the dominant society. But it's how you spend once you get those resources. What do you do with your resources once you get it? You know what I'm saying? Do you take it and just spread it out to those that don't look like you? Or do you spread it or do you send it to those that spend with those that look like you? You know what I'm saying? That's how we overcome the situation. You know, of course we need to get out. We need to work. We need homes and everything. We need financing and stuff like that. And they got it. We have jobs and everything. We got to make money and everything because they have it. But it's about what you do after you get it. You know, that's what breaks everything down is what you do after you get it. Are you spending with folks that look like you, or are you spending 99% of your money with those that don't look like you?
Here's the point of Dearborn. I want to close the point. I want to bring back the point of Dearborn, Michigan. I learned this a few years ago about Dearborn, Michigan. It was a article that popped up in my Facebook feed or whatever, and it was saying that they was attempting at the time to implement Sharia law, right?
Oh,
and
really?
But why wouldn't they? You just said the population is Arab, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at our local governments, if the population was, this might be a bad example, if the population of an environment is black, then it seems like instinctive black policies would be implemented, right? That's what it seemed like.
Wow.
So if you look at Dearborn, Michigan,
I said that's deep. They was trying to implement that. Wow.
Don't take that. Don't quote me on that. I said it came up in my Facebook feed. It could have been rumored. But when I asked you instinctively about Dearborn, Michigan, you said Arab.
Yeah.
But if it's Arab, why wouldn't they implement policies that reflect their religious belief? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they do that? I'm just saying, even in a hypothetical sense, right? So this is what Miles Monroe said. Miles Monroe said this. He said, a nation that sells their land is selling their existence. Right? A nation that sells their land is selling their existence. But isn't that true? If you possess, because we're talking about war and competition. We're talking about land. And that's the concept we're talking about, land possession. If you possess land, then you're going to implement in that land your philosophical beliefs, your religious belief, if you own it, right? So we're fighting a competition without understanding the dynamics of what a war really is. That's my point. If we always approach it from the word called injustice without understanding the leverage that comes from land, which implements your philosophy, then we're approaching the war in the wrong way. That's my point.
I want to tell you something that you said, Rob. You mentioned that and it's not even really attacking. It's a question. You mentioned because I apologize for saying that word attack because it's not an attack. It's actually a question. You mentioned the other cultures, and you were asking as if you were presenting it like this is how they feel. So for our response, my response to you to that when you mentioned they don't give a damn about your slavery past and they don't give a damn, they just trying to get what they want, right? When I will respond to that statement like this, well, keep that damn Holocaust off the TV, keep this immigration thing off the TV, and keep that damn Native thing out of our damn history books. Because if my being captured, enslaved, and stripped of my humanity means nothing to you, I don't give a damn about that border. I don't give a damn about World War II. And I don't give a damn about none of that stuff. And the fact that you only make up 1% of the nation, I don't care about that either. But no one would go along with that. Why is it, my question to those people is, why is it that Rob, Dorian, and HRap are complainers and whiners and ain't trying hard enough, but all of y'all know your history at least 1,000 years in the past, and all of us know our history 300 years in the past? That's what angers, and that word is chosen properly. That's what angers me about when people look at us like that. Oh man, y'all need to just pull yourself up for y'all bootstraps. It's time to fight. But when we do fight and we establish things, Peoria, Illinois, Greenville, Oklahoma, Libertyville, Florida, Columbus, Georgia. I mean, if you want me to, I can go through the whole list of places that every time we said, all right, well, fuck it then. Y'all showed up and burned it down. Not said, well, shit, well, we said they was going to do it. Well, fuck it. Burned it down. So for those people that say that, Rob, that's all I have to say. Why do every time we say, okay, we're going to do it, y'all burn it down? Or how about this? This is for anybody listening. This is especially for you, Rob. Do you know it is a council in Congress right now that are attempting to make as a matter of fact, part of that $1 trillion bill that Joe Biden is trying to pass is because he's trying to help out black communities for the interstate issues. You know what the interstate issues are, Rob? Every time we had a thriving community, if they didn't burn it down, they threw an interstate right there. So they split our community right in half and destroyed our financial base. So for those people who will hear this and say, Rob, right, we struggle. Why y'all can't do it? Tell you what, no matter how few natives there are in this country, they can trace their history back 1,000 years. No matter how few Mexicans there are in this country, they can trace their heritage back 10,000 years. We can't do that.
Hey, Rap, check this out, though. Hey, Rap, check this out. Check this out, because I want to make sure that this is a clear point. Okay. The point I'm making about them not giving a damn about what we say when I say the Indians, Mexican, I'm talking about the men. Mexican men.
Hey, I'm talking about them too. No. But they also hold on. 1 minute. I'm gonna say one thing, then I'm gonna shut up. Those men that you're speaking about, when we had that march on Washington in 1965, they showed their ass up with their hands out. Why didn't y'all stay the hell away? That's all I would have to say to them, and I'm gonna be quiet. I'm listening. I'm listening from that point on.
What I'm saying, I just want to make sure I'm clear about what I'm saying in this regard. In this regard, I'm saying as we move forward as a country, as we move forward as a country with all these different men that's now players in the game. Because at first we used to have, whites as the majority and us as the major minority, right? But the dynamics of that changed based off of the possession of land, businesses. The dynamics of us being a minority has changed with some of our men being locked up. It's changed. And I'm saying, like now when we state our injustice is falling on deaf ears more and more because different people are being positioned differently than it used to be. Right? They position different. So now, Mexican man, I don't gotta listen to you. You have no power. You have no collective power. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't care about your slavery. We all chasing resources now. That is to a bigger issue than we're even addressing.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. That's perfect. That's perfect. Because then me and Dorian right. Damn that kumbaya shit. Let's get our shit in order. Fuck y'all. Don't come over here asking me for shit. Because if it's a fight, we gonna fight, and I guarantee you we'll win. I don't want to hear nothing else nobody else have to say to you. But what about this day? Hey, man, you said it was a fight. You said it was a war, homie. Sir, Mr. Latino, Mr. Jewish man, Mr. this man, Mr. that man, because the black man need to get his shit in order. When we do, it's over. Don't ask me for nothing, D.
Yep. And also, when they come over here, what do they classify as? They classify as white. So they on team white supremacy all day long. They are considered to be, what do they call them during World War II? What did Hitler call them during World War II? They was considered honorary Aryans. So these people coming over here, man, they ain't on no kumbaya with black folks, man. They consider themselves to be down with white supremacy, you know. And like HRap said, man, every time black folks pull themselves up by our bootstraps, they removed the boot. You know what I'm saying? They tore everything down. I was reading about my man Jason Black did a story on Bruce Beach. Look how they did Bruce Beach.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called now? HRap. What is it called now? It's not Bruce.
It's in Virginia. I know the beach you talking about when they had the right down the middle line. Don't come over here. We don't go over there. They bankrupt the whole black side of town. Right? That's the part you're talking about, right?
No, I'm talking about in California.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the one in it's the same thing happened in Virginia. It used to be they literally had a fence up, bro. Don't bring y'all ass over here. And then they stopped and they sicked the government on the black part of town and shut it down.
Yeah, Bruce Beach, man, they were owned by a family, by the Bruce family. And what happened was Bruce Beach they was getting money and everything. White man owned property next to the beach and everything. He wouldn't let black folks walk on his property, nothing like that. They had to walk a whole city block just to get to the beach. And eventually they declared it as what did they declare it? Where they end up taking the people's. They said they wanted to build a park there. So they ended up taking their property and everything. And it was 50 years went by, wasn't no park built. Until the black folks are talking about getting their land back, then they built a little park there or whatever. But they snatched their land from them. So anytime black folks, you look at Rosewood and places like that, anytime black folks try to build and say, okay, get y'all. We're going to get what we get. We're going to build our own society up and everything, our own areas and whatnot. We're going to do exactly what all these other little groups are doing. They find a way to destroy it by coming up with freeways, bringing freeways through the black communities and everything. That's what they do. And it's funny, it's hypocritical to say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but then we're going to destroy you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So that's been our whole thing. So when somebody say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, I'm looking at them like they crazy. Like, man, you fool, you don't get out of my face. You don't get out of my face talking that craziness.
Yeah, I thought she was talking about the joint in Virginia. They did this Dorian. They did the same thing in Virginia.
I believe it.
So if that's the case, Rob, if don't nobody care, if we not okay, well, cool. We not gonna kumbaya. But every time we stop kumbaya, y'all lose.
Yep.
Because guess what? Who is you can take a scene from Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing. Who your favorite basketball player? Who your favorite musician? Who your favorite artist? Who your favorite this? Who your favorite that? We don't need you over here.
Yeah.
Who your favorite quarterback? Who your favorite running back? Who your favorite all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if we gonna do it, then cool. We'll show up as a job. We're not gonna ask for no promotions. We're not gonna ask for nothing. What we are gonna do, Dorian and Rob gonna go in that job and work for y'all. They ain't gonna try to get no promotions no more. But what we're gonna do is watch. Okay. And then the community gonna finance Dorian and Rob for the same business. We going over there. We ain't going to McDonald's no more. We going to McDonald's.
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
So when it comes to this competition, would it be fair to say that there's no camaraderie amongst black men, and everything is more like individualistic type of thing, whereas you gotta. I'm curious to know your point.
No, I would disagree with that. That's the image that's portrayed. That's the image that's shown to you. Because guess what, Rob? If it wasn't no camaraderie in the black community, Rated Kev wouldn't be in my Chief Rocker. Rated Kev and Chief Rocker wouldn't be in my chat room. You wouldn't be on this. Me, you, and Dorian wouldn't be on this platform right now. It's amazing how you can stick 15 black men in a room from all over the country. It won't be one fight. But people tell you, man, black folks don't know how to get along. You can stick 15 black women in one place that they commiserate, and they're going to laugh and joke and kick it. Is it going to be an argument occasionally in both those rooms? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But guess what? If you put the same amount of Greeks, Italians, Russians, pop, pop throughout the world, it's gonna be the same thing. Why is it that I said this yesterday on the show? Why is it that the biggest problem in the United States of America right now, criminally, is human trafficking? The Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, and the Vice Lords don't do that. But you never see that on TV. Another situation. Why is it that it's some? Guess what? It's someone from the Latino community getting murdered or hurt right now. It's somebody from the white community.
Your point is, you're saying that
you never see that on TV. Everybody, crime is a proximity problem, not a race problem. Yeah. So why don't you see that on TV? Why does everybody in America know the statistics? I'm going to be quiet, Dorian, 1 second. I'm finished this sentence. I'm going to be quiet. Why does everybody in America know the statistics on black crime, but don't nobody know the number 2 statistic? Speak.
Right. Now I get the point.
But basically, people kill where they live.
Right, they kill where they live.
They kill where they live. Let's just white folks kill where they live. Man, in fact, white crime is higher than any other group's crime in America. They commit more crime than anybody else, but that's not portrayed in the media because it's their media. You know what I'm saying? And they want to produce and continue to produce a mindset or a thought that they are above everybody else and they are just so perfect and everything, and they're just the bomb, and everybody else is degenerates and everything at the bottom and whatnot. That's not true. Really, they are the degenerates. They do more crap, man. You hear about more. If you really look at what they do to each other, man, far it goes. Look at all the mass murders and everything. Black folks ain't out here doing no mass murders like that. They kill each other like it ain't nothing. But they say that, oh, black on black crime in Chicago is this, and that. And this is funny. I mean, y'all from Chicago. It's kind of funny to me how black folks only want to kill on the weekend. That's kind of funny to me. If you ask me, black folks, if you got to beat somebody, you ain't gonna wait till the weekend to kill them or the holiday or whatever. You gonna kill them when you see them, Monday through Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Friday or whatever. But yeah, it's the narrative. They put the media is the white media, and they gonna push that narrative, man. They gonna make themselves look good and everybody else look bad. That's what they do. That's why we need to have our. That's why this what we're on right now. We have our own black media and everything. That's what we need to watch and pay attention to, our own black media, because we're going to get the truth out of our own black media and not that watered down crap, anti-black stuff that we see every day coming through Fox and all these other networks and whatnot.
I want to filter and I want to run through y'all quick. It's 10. It's called 10 basic stops. Victims of racism should practice in speech and in action. I just want to hear what y'all thoughts are. Y'all instinctive thoughts on these.
You go first, Dorian.
Stop. Huh?
I'm telling Dorian to go first when you stop.
It don't matter. I'm just going to throw them out there. So
no.
Whichever one of y'all feel that instinct to jump in. And listen to the audience, too, this specific. 10 victims of racism should practice the speech and action. I want to start with stop squabbling. Stop squabbling. What are your instinctive thoughts?
Stop squabbling. You mean stop fighting amongst each other? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, stop squabbling and stop fighting. They're two different categories.
Wow.
We want to make them one, Dorian. Okay, we're going to make them one because Dorian said it. Stop fighting. Stop fighting.
Black folks gonna always fight, man. We're gonna always have disagreements and everything. That's just what it is.
That's humanity.
Can we afford to?
That's humanity.
Always have disagreements to end up in a fight.
In a perfect world, you won't have no squabbles and fighting and everything. This is not the perfect world. You know what I'm saying? People have their
war and competition. We're talking about war and competition, so I just want to keep the theme. So these are the victims of racism should practice in speech and action because these are the things that will prepare them for war and competition. This is the thought. So the victims of racism should practice in speech and in action. So I'm asking you, what are your instinctive thoughts about stop fighting?
Stop fighting, stop squabbling over small stuff, man. Small things, you know what I'm saying? Things that are not beneficial to us, small little little disagreements and everything, we shouldn't be arguing over small stuff. You know, that's just my mindset is that we don't argue over small stuff. Let's chop it up to a certain degree about the big issues that confront us, not the small little issues and everything, but the big issues. You know what I'm saying? What do we agree upon as a people? You know, do we agree that we need tangibles? Yes. Do we agree that we need power, wealth, and influence? Yeah. Those are things that we should be concentrating on. There's all these little small parallel conversations and squabbles and everything. We don't need to be talking about, like, for instance, person's sexuality and all that. Those are sexuality and all that stuff, man. Okay, we know where we stand on that. Let's look at the big picture of what we really need to be focusing in on, what we really need to be talking about, what we really need as a people, not this little small conversations and whatnot. We don't need to be fighting small stuff.
I echo everything he said, but that goes back to what I said right before Dorian came on here. We need, if it's a war, we need, like I said, 59 to 79, we dropped the ball in regards to social awareness. This is the first generation also that can enhance their kids' social awareness because we got tangible proof. Like Dorian said, look, but see, that starts with your kids. Hey, man, if you and such get into a disagreement, learn how to talk to him instead of hitting him. Always understand who your brothers and brothers in arms are. You can't afford to, basically, we need to learn how to put up a unified front to get where we need to be. Point blank, period. If we learn how to treat each other and we start saying, we are at war. Respect Rob Orr and everybody who look like him. Basically, the people we are at war with, we need to write down their abilities and what they do and teach that same thing to our kids. We could do exactly what Adolf Hitler did. Adolf Hitler watched Jim Crow segregation and watched how America treated black people. And he said, you know what, you Jewish motherfuckers, y'all better be strong as them black people because y'all in for it. So what we need to do is watch white supremacists and go, damn, okay, Tyrone, Akeem, Khalif, this is how we handle this. That's how you end. That's how you stop. That's how you stop squabbling. Because when you do that, you teach your young people that you are only as good as your brother. So if your brother ain't no good, you ain't no good. The young brother who's supposed to be on the show yesterday, salute to King Randall. Ain't no hard fellas. Hopefully you watching and you'll come in another day. He teaching young men in his organization that right now. If he get caught with some weed, all y'all in trouble. If he late for curfew, all y'all in trouble. If he do something wrong, all y'all in trouble. If he got to do laps, everybody doing laps. That's how you stop the squabbling. Because then you only as strong as your weakest link. Stop snitching.
Stop snitching. I want to hear y'all instinctive thoughts on snitching.
Snitching, first of all, let's define what snitching is. Snitching is not the old lady watching you sell dope, 911, Brian in front of my house selling dope. That's not snitching. That's upholding the law. Snitching is, come on out, Dorian, they got us. Us. They got you. That's snitching. If you don't want to do this whole 10 by yourself, you better tell me who them other two dudes, Rob Orr and Dorian, be. That's snitching. So let's stop allowing our oppressors to define what is and isn't snitching. And stop publicizing that, white people, because I ain't never heard nobody, them dudes with them badges, guns, and the murders with badges and guns. I ain't never heard no other dude in a badge and a gun say, you know what, Chauvin, you killed George. Why ain't nobody coming up to the stand saying, because remember, they here to do the right thing. So if they was here to do the right thing, it should be 75, 80, 100 cops on the defense side saying, "Yeah, bro, you making us look bad. You murdered dude." So miss me with that stop snitching. But if let's define what snitching is, and then we can determine if stop snitching is a thing. Because stop snitching only applies if you are a criminal. Huh?
Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
Snitching only applies if you are a part of the caper.
Yeah. Say that again. That's important.
Snitching only applies if you are a part of the criminal activity.
I agree. I totally agree. Because when I say that, I always get that side-eye look. I be like, man, I'm a snitch, Joe. And they be like, what you mean, Rob? Like, dude, because I ain't involved in that guy.
Thank you.
Do nothing. Don't come bring me around and fight me over this thing. You gonna do some old illegal stuff and then expect me not to tell the truth on it. I come in peace, man. Don't get me wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? I understand what some of my people do. Now, if I go over there knowing that certain people do certain things, then I'm under that act. I'm under the act of not snitching. You understand? If I know cats is blazing with or they can't, doing guns or whatever, if I go over there off an invite, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm linked up with my people and I go over there, I know what it is. So I'm involved in that. I can't snitch. I can't. Oh no, man. Oh, y'all got us, man. They told us, man, Dorian the one had the gun. No, before I went over there, I know what Dorian was on. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm invited out somewhere, at the end of the day, if you know I ain't involved in that, you murder somebody. Don't expect me not to kill. That's all I'm saying. I don't involve myself in that world. But if I involve myself in your world, like for this point on, if I go over Dorian's crib, I expect Dorian to tell me his license is suspended before I get in his car. You know what I mean? So tell me that. Don't be like, oh man, my license is suspended after we get pulled over. Man, just be cool, be quiet. I might panic, man. I don't know how I might act. I'm like, damn, dude, I just came over here to start hollering at you. Like, we be boys, though, man. You folks, like, man, don't put me in that position. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, if some people call that a snitch, man, that's what a snitch. Okay, don't put me in that position because here I am identifying Dorian with this responsible dude. This is who I hang with. This is who I gonna choose. But if you're on something else, give me the option to know what I'm getting involved in. You understand what I'm saying? So if people call that snitching, yes, I'm a snitch.
I had an uncle in the 60s and the 70s that was in the dope game, heavy, in Detroit. He was hooked up with a dude named Marzette, heavy, in Detroit. And from what I understand was, if you are a part of the game and you snitched on somebody and you were part of the game, if you told on that person, you a snitch. If you're not a part of the game, if you're not in that, if you're not operating within that dope atmosphere, if you're not making money, if you're not a player, and you tell, because you saw that person that was in the game shoot somebody, you're not a snitch. Like my man HRap said, you're upholding the law. What my uncle, from what my mother used to say, he would say, if you tell on your brother and y'all both in the game together, you a snitch. In fact, your life is in danger.
Mm-hmm. You even see that on TV in the movies. Yeah. They don't get civilians for telling. They might, hey, let us give you this and you go away. I give you a real life situation. I had a homeboy. I used to do a livery cab, the little hood cab. He used to call me all the time. I'll pay you to take me over here. I knew what he was doing. One day, he's in the Chicago gang book as a high-ranking gang member. I know he got in my car with a pistol every time he got in my car. But I had delivery stickers, so I was cool. They don't know I know him. So he would get in my car, and one day I said, man, why y'all don't never be on this block? You know what his response was? Man, they call the police on that block. We ain't going over there.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
But see, again, I'm sorry, Dorian. You asked when we gonna stop doing this to each other, and can black men get along? That's living proof. This dude I was dropping him off. I know he had dope in his pocket. And I know he had a gun on him. He was handing out the packs. But guess what? He said, they call the police over there. Now, we're going to kill them people over there. You don't see that on TV. And then people say, it ain't no cold in the street no more. I never even thought about what Dorian said. It is awful strange that folks only get killed between midnight Thursday and midnight Saturday. That's mind blowing. I'm done, Dorian.
Yeah, I heard somebody say one time the black folks got a snitch. Black folks, they gonna snitch, man. They got a snitch mentality.
Yeah.
That's just what it is, man.
But the thing is, let's elevate that. Let's elevate it. Like that concept. Snitching. Like, dude, I'm a responsible father. The thing with snitching, I'm a responsible husband, a responsible father. The thing with the snitch code that I don't like is that's what destroys hoods. What destroys hoods to me is the men in the hoods that don't stand up.
Yeah.
See, that's what destroys a hood. A hood, if any neighborhood you show me this bad, I'm gonna show you a bunch of irresponsible men that ain't got the courage to stand up and say not on my block. Flat out.
I heard, man. I mean, I'm not from Chicago and everything. But I heard, man, y'all had back in the day, man, you couldn't just do anything you wanted to do. You couldn't just get at somebody like that. You had to go to the upper of the GDs. You had to go and talk to somebody before you can go and hit somebody like that because it'll bring too much fire to the hood. You know what I'm saying? It'll bring too much police and heat to the hood and everything. I heard y'all had a code, man. When them original gangsters that was great. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays it's just you got a bunch of cowboys out there.
Oh, let me tell.
It's called cliques. They got a bunch of cliques now. So let me.
I just want to say one thing. I ain't finna address this. I just want to say to the listeners who are still listening, if you're listening in the background, if you just came in the chat room, please hit that like button. Do hit that like button. It's important that you hit that like button so we can be at the top of the algorithm so random people can run into this and they can see this information and continue to grow our platform. Thank you. Speak on it, Rob.
So we're talking about war and competition. Just catch the people just joined in the room, catch them up on a conversation. We're talking about war and competition and how it affects black men in America and our interaction with other people. So if you got something on war and competition, make sure that you join in the conversation. This conversation is always about a joint effort. Go ahead, B-Rap.
I dropped that, what Rob just said, I just dropped the link in. So if you want to be a part of the conversation on screen, please, you're welcome to do so. To address what Dorian said and address what the question you asked. I'm not trying to attack your question or you. I'm addressing the question. We keep speaking about men, but again, this white nationalist oppression that we live upon has eliminated the man. The United States federal government in 1989 on national TV, CBS, NBC, and ABC had Oliver North admit that he put dope and guns in our community, and then they turned around in 1992 and made it super duper illegal. So you're gonna load the gun up, give it to me, and then go over there and have somebody slap me, and wonder why I done murdered this dude. That's number one. That's where, as Dorian hit the nail on the head. When they removed the Raymond Washingtons, the Tukey Williams, and those guys from LA, and all those other guys that ran the Pyrus, like the Mob Jameses and all those, they removed those dudes from the street, and then they came here and removed, we can't say the names of Dorian because those dudes still fighting cases. When they removed the corners, the cornerstones of the Vice Lords, the GDs, the BDs, the Blackstones, and the Cobra Stones, all of a sudden, it was random acts of violence. Hey, we're old enough, Dorian, to remember this dude by the name of Fluky Stokes, rest his soul. He was the Nino Brown of our era. He was the Nino Brown of Chicago. You had to know Dorian. Like, HRap want to sell some dope. I had to go ask Dorian. Dorian had to go ask Rob. Rob had to go ask TC. And then TC went and asked Fluky, could you get the dope? And if Fluky said no, or you had to get past all those stages, and then you still had to hope Fluky said, okay, now, since the Oliver North, they put that dope in the street, guess what? If you got $1,400, you can buy an ounce of whatever you want.
Wow.
And that's what caused violence throughout the United States of America. Our men started getting locked up 3-1. The show Snowfall is mapping it out for you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another impact too, Dorian. Just to your point, there's another impact. Like when they took, I hear this point a lot, but it's an actual factual point, and I just want to put a spin on it, or at least some input on it. When they tore down a lot of the projects, we talk about the current state of now. Like, so we're talking about the current state of now, of what happened, part of what happened in Chicago, right? So we're talking about what HRap talking about as far as the structure, as far as the structure that went in Chicago. And then we also talking about when they tore these buildings down, those are government house buildings, right? When they rip those down, they rip down sets. So these are like sets. I mean, these are like generational sets, So you scatter those to places that accept benefits, right? So if you do that, what happens? Like, we thinking about the actual, we're not even gonna call them, we ain't gonna call them gang bang. We're not gonna call them gang.
Street organizations. Street organizations.
Organization, or communities. I'm gonna call them we grew up right here in this community. This is my community. I don't know no other people. This is where I grew up in. I grew up in Robert Taylor home. I ain't grew up nowhere else. This is where I live, right? All right. So my point is, when you break those down, right, and then think about they parents, they mamas, right? They mamas are friends. These are card players. These drinking buddies. So if I go move into a neighborhood in Chicago that takes the subsidy housing or that takes the benefits that I use, I'm gonna tell my girl, like, hey girl, guess what? Come over here on 79th. They got houses all up and down here, girl, that's taking them benefits. She gonna move around with her friends because their friends already know each other. Those created these massive cliques all throughout Chicago. And that's just a theory. That's just a theory, right? Opinion. But I've got feedback from people to say, hey, when we was in Robert Taylor homes, when we got programs from there, we moved over there because, my mom and them moved over there, and her girl and all of us moved over there. It clicked up. But now you got all these cliques now, and you starting to see a bunch of cliques. And that's why, like, all down, like you say, you take Stony Island. Not Stony Island, Martin Luther King Drive on Cottage Grove on 63rd. When you got all them sets, I know HRap, I know like all down 63rd right here, you got the old block, you like all of them on top of each other. And you like, man, how the hell y'all at war? Y'all right here all on top of each other. But some of these people that, go ahead, what you say?
Y'all 2 or 3 doors down from each other. 2 hours down.
I mean, dude, unlike anything else I've ever seen in the world, when you say 63rd right there, and going down Cottage Grove and all that, the way all the blocks are clicked up, it represents something that's different that's happening that is way beyond our understanding to say, I know these cats ain't grew up 2 blocks down from each other and they don't like each other. They totally at war. I know it ain't that, but there was some other dynamics playing in when you talk about what you would call the overall structure of. It's this guy who do a fantastic job. Called SEN TV. I don't know if you're familiar with that. We're talking about. You ever heard of that?
No, I haven't seen that.
SEN TV. If y'all get a chance, called. It goes with the hoods who shot rap. This young man does a fantastic job of giving out. He calls street legends. It's called SNTV. He does this thing called Street Legends. And he's talking about all of the young men that get killed in the current day. Because when he's talking about, back in the day, we're talking about the current day and what clique they're from. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest. This is how I started learning what these cliques is. I was going to this Walmart market on 47th in Cottage Grove, and I did not know behind that jungle was one of the most dangerous spots. I did not know. I had no idea. But it was cool. You know what I'm saying? I got my wife, we all going over there, man, so run over there. And I'm like, if I'd have known that, what I'm saying, maybe maybe some feel would have kicked in. So maybe don't hold that. I didn't know though. I did not know that's what it was at. Through SCTV, a cat like me, 47 years old, he give me a heads up. He give me a heads. That's why I watch it. You know, I watch it, so I need a heads up about what is driving what's in here, right? What's going on right now? You know, because it ain't the same. Like you were saying, it's not even the same. These cats, and in pop pills, and it's a lot of stuff going on with that current culture right now. And we can't act like they not us. This is us.
That's like back in the day, man. My great grandmother lived in a place called Herman Gardens here in Detroit. Herman Gardens was the projects. But she had moved in when they first built the place. It was real nice and everything. Man, it got bad, man. You had YBI, Young Boys Incorporated, took over that area, man. And I was a little cat. And I used to go visit my great grandmother. I started walking through the area, you know what I'm saying, to get to her building and everything. When I found out what was popping on in that area, I would run to her building. And when it was time to leave, I would run back home. And I stayed like about a quarter of a mile away from her building on Service Drive.
How was you, like 35 then? You was 35, 36?
I was like 13, man. I was like, and I found out that what got my attention was I was at a little store playing video games. One of the YBI guys came in, man, and he wanted to play the game. I was on it. He had a Colt 45, man, the long boy. Put it on the screen like it's my turn. I was like, it's your turn. It's your turn, player. And was gone. My brother was like, yeah, man, we in the middle of YBI area, dude. It's like, man, I had no idea.
Yeah. And
so make sure we stay on that point to stop snitching code, because we was talking about to stop snitching. Yeah, we want to go through. I just want to run through a few more. Hey, Rap, did you want to say something? I saw you.
To piggyback. No, I was just saying, agree. To piggyback off what you were saying, another thing, when they tore down, like Stateway Gardens, that's a series of projects that used to be from 31st and State Street all the way to 67th and State Street. Right? Oh no, 59th and State Street. It was documented that it was more people living in Stateway Garden than in the state of Rhode Island.
Wow.
There was several different gangs in that one. It was like 2 or 3 different gangs in that project, right? You knock down that project and you put those people all over the city with no regard to what gang they in. Now you have put a project building in the middle of a community where they had rifle gang members on both sides. That's how Rob was saying, you on 63rd, oh shit, there go the Vice Lords. On 64th, there go the Four Corner Hustlers. And we right in the middle of their territory. Their brother gang, their sister gangs. And you put the GDs in the middle. And you wonder why the violence went up. And before Rob finished, here's the sad part, Dorian and the other listeners who are not from Chicago. We were acting a fool for the last 5 years, about 500 murders. When I was 22 and Rob was 19 or 20, it was 917 murders in Chicago.
Dang.
So you got, at that time you had ABC, NBC, CBS, right? Now you got those three. Then you got their cable networks. Then you got MSNBC. You got Fox now and their news network. And they tell Rob got shot on 63rd National. And then this network said on Ashland in Chicago, this person got shot. And then on ABC, on the South Side, this dude got shot. It's the same dude that got shot, but they told it from 3 different angles. Now it look like, God damn, they killing people on the South Side, on Ashland, and on 63rd. It's the same dude got murdered. But we don't pay attention to that, and we go crazy, and we go, see, black folks don't know how to get along.
Wow.
So,
man, it's an element of pop out there now that hadn't existed. I don't want to say it like that because murder always been real. Like, murder always been real. We got history of so many people I've lost, through brotherhood murders. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. So murder always been it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. But the element of pop out here today is different than the sense that it has, like, the way they hijack cars, right? It's like, you're not gonna snitch on that. If somebody terrorizing your neighborhood, because they have no regard of whether they get you or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, if I know who did it, man, I'm dropping down. They might be able to get rid. Because the biggest thing about being a man is you can't be scared to die for what's right. In your neighborhood, you just can't be scared for that. You can't even second guess that, man. Because if you don't, you're gonna get terrorized by what you would call, evil. That's what it is. Whatever the concept, wherever you think evil came from, the devil, wherever you think it came from, you should, as a man, you shouldn't be scared to die, not being terrorized by evil. So my point is, with that being said, there's a different element of what's going on because we are dealing with generations of fatherlessness, lack of structure. Now, this current day and age, those levels of generations are beginning to pile up to the point where we're talking about it in a different way. We have to address it. Right? And I think I want to end. So maybe we'll pick back up on some of the 10 basic stops another time. I think we covered a lot in this conversation. And hopefully give people something to talk about, something to think about, something to collaborate with each other on. So, HRap, why don't you go ahead and plug yourself real quick.
Okay, as I stated, man, tomorrow, man, please continue to listen to this show because we are going to continue to have conversations like this and make it so we can stop guessing about us and we can present ideas and unify us and create. What we're going to do here is create a family of communication, and then we'll move forward. Tomorrow, me and my brothers on Forecast, we are going to talk about King Kong versus Godzilla. We've had some very heavy topics, so we're going to make it a little lighter tomorrow. That's what being for BS3. I'll send you a link or just go to here BS3 and subscribe. Tuesday, Monday morning, you got the number one Chief Rocker, Jersey Vern. Monday afternoon, you got DJ Mad Knox. Monday evening, you have me. Then you can guarantee DJ Mad Knox and Big Illinois on Thursday night, DJ Mad Knox on Friday night, Lisa Deuce in the afternoon on Built for This Network, me on here and Built for This Network Saturdays and Tuesdays, 5 p.m. And as I said at the top of the hour, we will have in 164 hours, actually 166 hours from this moment, me, Rob, Dorian, and TC, the Jaw Jackets, will be in full effect.
Plug yourself, Dorian.
I'm just Dorian B on Facebook. I just do my stuff. I'm Jaw Jack on Facebook. Dorian B. Last name BEE on Facebook. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? We chop it up. Whatever.
You catch me on the Collective Perspective on YouTube, where we collaborate. We just like my man HRap collaborate, and we collaborate, man, just to be able to create an audience in the room. So catch me on YouTube, like my Facebook page. My YouTube page.
Subscribe.
Collective.
Subscribe to your YouTube page.
Yeah, subscribe. Yeah, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel on Collective Perspective. Well, I'm collaborating with more than one show, so I'm getting different type of personalities that I think are fantastic minds. I love rocking with alpha male. Evidently I got something in common with these brothers. So I don't really look at myself as an alpha. But when you hang around alpha males long enough, you end up becoming pump faking like that. So network with me on YouTube, man. As always, I appreciate y'all giving us a second to give you some different perspective on how it is as a black man walking through life, because I can't identify as nothing else. So thanks for listening to Jaw Jackin'. And at the end of the bitch, and my man from Detroit, Mr. Dorian B.
And y'all know how I end every show. Dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams. It's life without dreams, rose in black and white. Life with dreams, flows in technicolor, surround sound. To the two people I didn't acknowledge on the Spreaker side, my man DJ Ramon, DJ Rep Beauty, thank y'all for the support. We are out.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.